How do y'all? We are trying to get a trying to get a weekend kick started here. So Liddell is going to make breakfast. Tell us what you are doing.
Well, we have an abundance of eggs,
Yeah.
and so they don't get old or go bad, we're going to make lots of eggs this morning. We're going to do scrambled eggs for breakfast. Um, they're not even mixed yet.
Yeah. They're not scrambled yet.
We're also going to do some deviled eggs later, and just some hard-boiled eggs to snack upon, just to get rid of some of our abundance of eggs. And yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Okay. So you were telling me earlier about when you crack all of our eggs, we always do it into a separate container for like
A clear bowl, yeah.
yeah.
And basically, it's because we have so many eggs, we want to make sure we're not getting a spoiled one. Like, if you just put them all in the same thing and you had one bag egg, it ruins the entire thing that you're doing. So you want to crack them one at a time, and then you can mix them all together.
And that's more or less just to prevent, like, if we found an egg that was much older than the others because it was in a different spot.
A spoiled egg, or one that we didn't see the crack and it had bacteria enter the egg.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's why you check all your eggs.
I knew you've always told me to do that. I just never really knew why. So.
Well, and we don't have a rooster, so we don't have to worry about, having fertilized eggs, but you still want to crack them in a separate container for that purpose.
Gotcha. We're trying to help you guys learn as we learn, or as I learn. Liddell already obviously knew all this stuff, but we're hoping that if you watch our channel long enough, then you'll actually learn something. Because we don't have the time or the wherewithal to like plan everything out and like create content based on what everybody else is doing or anything that's trending or That's not how it works with our channel. If that's what you came here for, I apologize. What we do is we live and we record it and bring you all along. So what else are we doing over there? You look like you're piling a bunch of eggs up into the...
This is our eggs, not only for our snack eggs, which will just be hard boiled, but we're also having a birthday party today. So we're doing, we're gonna do some deviled eggs too.
Gotcha. Just putting them in a quick cooker or thingamajigger.
Yeah, quick cooker thingamajigger. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not brand loyal necessarily, but
No.
we got what we got, and that's what we use, right?
That's right. And then, yeah. So just put this on. We're gonna stir our eggs before they start sticking. But yeah, just having a quick down and dirty egg breakfast.
All right. Well, while you're getting that done, I guess I will go let the chickens and the ducks out and open the garden up because we kind of jumped the gun, y'all. Tractor Supply had some really cheap plant starts, and we never seemed to get our tomatoes to go long enough in the season, so we went ahead and put some out, and I'll show you those maybe here in just a little bit, but hopefully the frost don't get them because we're a little early on it, but we're trying. Anyway, be right back. So part of what makes this time of year a little bit difficult for us is we are still under the threat of frosty mornings. Yet it's getting up into like the 70s during the day. So if we plant anything outside, it will get killed by the frost, even though it's random. But also at the same time, if we plant anything in the greenhouse, it gets cooked. And those tomatoes I told you about earlier, I will show you those here in just a little bit. They're plant starts, so they got started like in a greenhouse or whatever, but because we put them in our greenhouse, I have to roll the side up a little bit or they get cooked. I forgot to roll this up one day and I'll show you what happens. But anyhow, this is just PVC, got the plastic wrapped around it, but the tape has let go in the center, so I'm going to have to cut this down and retape it because as you will see, I'm much higher here than I am down there. But it is what it is. It's working for now. And then I just put a little rope over the end. Voila, we have a ventilation. Anyway, I'll meet you inside and I'll show you those tomatoes. Okay, so as you can see, this one's doing pretty good. That one's a little yellow. That one definitely got dried out. That one is a casualty. Again, needs a little something, something. The leaves are all yellow, like it didn't get watered enough or whatever. But then these ones are doing fine too. And then again, we have a casualty. Poor tomato. Anyway, hopefully the camera is not going to fog up because it'll do that sometimes. Then we got our strawberries that we went ahead and put the wood chips out of the duck coop in, because duck and geese, their poo is not quite as high in nitrogen as the chickens are. You put fresh chicken turds on your garden and it'll kill it. It's just too hot. But anyway, as you can also see, we have not yet weeded everything, but we're getting after it a little at a time. The chickens see me coming. They think we're bringing them something. Probably because usually if I come out of the garden, I've got a bunch of weeds and stuff that we stick in their ring over there. Anyway, I've already showed you guys how I clean the coops out and everything. If you want to check that out, we've got it in the playlist. Go check out some of our other videos. I won't bore you with watching me scoop cedar chips out of a little building yet again. But it is something that has to be done basically every weekend. So we'll all get started on that, and once it's done, I'll show you kind of the end result maybe, and then we've got to go get working on our fencing. So in case you didn't know, ducks will lay their eggs just about anywhere. We got one that was a little late this morning, so I'm going to take that in the house. Okay guys, so we lost sound on the recording, and then I tried to do a voiceover and forgot to unplug the Bluetooth receiver. So we're doing this for the third or fourth time here, but this is what the duck coop looks like once we've got it all cleaned out and new chips. They usually come in and check it all out and start squawking and squeaking. This is what the chicken coop looks like once it's done. I still need to put the food and water down. You can see that the oyster shells are swinging. But if I leave them down, I'm dancing around them the whole time. And then this is the compost ring that we put everything into, along with the weeds from the garden and stuff like I talked about earlier. The chickens will have this all scratched out flat. And then in a second here, if I remember right, I'm going to pan over to the duck pond / pool. Oh wait, first the chickens are going to be pecking at my boots. Anyway, I'm trying to work, girls. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Sheesh. Anyway, I think this is the point where I say once I clean the ponds, which is just a kiddie pool, then I check to see if it hasn't rained, this will be dry, and then I'll squirt water on that, and that kind of sort of helps to build the temperature so that it composts faster. But we're still learning how to do this, guys. So don't copy everything I'm doing as that's the way, because I don't have it all figured out. Honestly, I'm kind of copying everybody else, and it seems like they all do it a little bit different. And we'll just keep you up to date as we learn more if I figure something out. But anyway, the ducks seem happy. They went in and checked it all out. They're back. Now we got to go get some lunch, and then we'll get after that fence. All right, guys, I got my No More Excuses jacket on, and we're going to try and get after this fence. I went in to have a little bit of something to eat, and it started raining, and it hasn't stopped. It just gets better, and then it gets worse, then it gets better, and then it gets worse. I am not a patient man. So we're going to work in the rain, because April showers bring May flowers, but we're not waiting on flowers. We're building a fence. Anyway, I'll meet you down there. Okay, guys, I got you set up on a little tiny tripod inside of the truck cab because the camera is not waterproof. So hopefully you can hear what I'm saying and I'm not cut off one way or the other. But we're going to start by putting a hole in the ground over there for our first wooden post. It should be 10 feet from that corner one. It's kind of janky right now. We'll get all that stuff tore off of there and get our first post hole set up. And my wheelbarrow has a flat, so I'm not sure how we're going to work that out. I'm going to go get one of those run flat tires later, but not right now. So we might have to just get the wheelbarrow down here and then mix it like kind of in place in the wheelbarrow, because that's easier than a 5-gallon bucket. I've never had any good luck trying to just dump dry concrete mix in the ground. It just doesn't seem to set up. It's really flaky and stuff afterwards. So I don't know how easy it would be to stir it inside of a 5-gallon bucket. So I'm just going to bring the wheelbarrow down here. We'll mix it in place with 5-gallon buckets of water and then just dump it. I won't be able to roll it anywhere, but that's fine. It'll be fine. But until then, we need to tear this old stuff off and get started on digging a hole. Probably put it in a fast forward motion, and we'll see what comes out. And if I lose sound again, I apologize. We'll do a talkover. Voiceover. Sheesh. That thing's got to be 2.5 inches thick at that end. Goodness. Alright. So I guess the first thing we could do is just cut all of these off, even with this post. This is a pressure treated post and it is in concrete. So we're going to go out to the line of the fence. This is where it gets interesting because I measured everything from the far end coming back this way. So the last T-post is like right here. That's in line with the fence. It's crooked to this, not quite a 45, but the difference is I think the next wood post was supposed to be out there like another 15 feet or something like that. But if I put a wood post right there, we could just do a really short run from this post, like a short cross brace or H brace, and exit in. And then it's going to be, the fence is going to be pulling that way, but it's going to kind of want to pull this fence post over. But it is going to be in concrete, and I could set it pretty deep. I'm going to cut these off, and then we'll figure out how far away that is. Well, I guess I don't need to figure it out. I can measure it later for the H brace. And we'll just use one of those. We'll get it X'd in. I'm not sure if we're going to get concrete in the ground today or not, but we're going to get started at least. I'm tired of waiting. Okay, so I cut these off at an angle like this. My thought was that'll be helping line it up straight to that post, and I can screw through one into the other, into the post, blah, 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 back and forth. My daughter thinks she's funny, telling me I can't park here. Okay, we have the technology. Good grief. I just bought a little box of staples. Usually I buy a big tub, but I just bought a little box because I'll lose them or they get rusty. So I bought a little box thinking that would work better. Then I had to learn how to open it. Okay, Mr. Cedar Tree, don't die. That screw is looking like it wants to stick somebody in the foot. Right off the bat. rock. Trying to make this fence where it looks like the things are evenly spaced and such, which is more visual than anything else, but and there's roots everywhere because I'm this close to a tree. But if I start bringing my post further out that way, it's just going to make it really close to the next one. So it'll be close here, it'll be close down there. Choose your battles kind of thing. We might have hit the depth. That sounded very solid. Okay. I think once I've committed to this, it kind of quit raining, or I'm just under the tree enough, but tell you what, I'm getting warm. It's always a good idea to put a little bit of gravel in the bottom of a post hole. Then you put the post in, put a little more gravel around it, because you don't want the bottom of that to be like a bowl. You want it to be able to drain. Otherwise you're gonna rot your post out way faster. So we're gonna steal some gravel off of our driveway. So I don't know if I said before already, but we had to wait on getting this fence done, partly because it was raining and partly because we had to get the locator service out here, and there's a phone line that runs through the bottom of that ditch a little bit further that side. We're okay, but they're done now, so we can start. Yeah, that's a little bit taller than I wanted it to be. That's okay. I suppose I could cut it off, but it is what it is. Okay, so now I'll use one of the longer ones and set the post out this way, and I've got a concrete stake for making forms. We'll drive that in the ground and get this level this way, and then we'll set, I'm tempted because it's so short and it is the corner, I might just run, 4 boards up to this, and we'll set the top one, we'll actually set our plumb, and then I'll set another one going out that way to set it this way, and then once the concrete's in, we'll do the rest. I think that would look good, being it's the corner and everything, and we've got the boards, they're right there, so why not? I'm making this stuff up as we go along. Ta-da! I know I'm getting overheated because my glasses are fogging up. This is fun by yourself. You should try it. Okay, now I can unscrew this and checker for plumb this away. All right, this board's broke in the middle. That's always good. Oh, we're good. Got fractions of an inch to spare. I hope I have screws over here somewhere. Okay, now we're going to give it the stand back eyeball. I don't know what you guys think, but my ichrometer says that'll work. The post actually kind of needs to come in more though. Maybe. Yeah. So this angle could be less than it is. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I don't know if you can see very well, but there is a 4x4 that's actually going at an angle on this one. I will probably use just barbed wire and an X. I'm going to have 4 cross braces, and then we'll go from the bottom of this one up to the top, from the top of that one down to the bottom with staples and everything, and then you twist it so that it pulls it in tight. The reason that I've got the 45 there is just to hold this one up, and I think it was while the concrete was setting, honestly, because there's nothing pulling on this fence. It's literally, there's a gate right there, it's done. Now on the other side there would be a gate hanging. If maybe I was thinking I was going to put the gate on this side, which honestly I may still, just because of the terrain, I might flip that around. I know we got the stump out of the way and everything, but that tree was going to be in the way regardless. If we make it swing this way, I could actually have it come around to the point where the ground falls off, and I could even put a little loopy doopy thing to where you can clip it on the fence, and then it'll stay open so it doesn't close on equipment. So that may be what we do in the very near future. But by having it on the low point of this post up against the high point on that one, both are in concrete. That 45 is keeping the top of that one being able to come over. If I did it the other way, this one would already be pulling over, and it would just try and separate that angle, just whatever fastener you have on it. By doing it this way, because these boards are essentially tying the two together, having the brace up against that when you're trying to compress the 4x4, that's not going to happen. The other way, you could pull the fasteners out. By doing it like we're going to do on this one with the X's, you've got it in both directions. That works if it's like midline, because you're going to have fence pulling this way or fence pulling that way. But if it's just on the end, you want it to go from the bottom of the next post to the top of the corner. And preferably, you'd have one coming up this way and one coming up this way, so that as that fence post corner is trying to be pulled that way by the fence, it can't. And this one, as its fence is pulling this way, it can't go in either direction. So you always go from the lower of the post next in line from the corner to the top of the corner. That's the way I've always been taught to do it. I've seen other people do it other ways. It kind of works the same with a door. If you're making your own door, like a barn door, the lower point on the hinged side to the high point on the swinging side, that way the door can't sag because it's compressing that. Now, if you've got a cable, like on a gate, the cable would go from the lower part swinging to the high point, because then you can usually put a turnbuckle in it and it'll pull it up. But that's the opposite. You're pulling with a cable that you can tension. Once you put a board in, it is what it is. You can't tension a board. But anyway, we'll get the rest of these measured. It'll go a lot faster. Go even faster still if I had a regular tape measure. But anyway, I'll put a little bit more gravel in that. We'll set the rest of these. Then I got to go up and get the cement and the wheelbarrow and some water. Maybe I'll go up and get a regular tape measure and a square too. That might make it more gooder. But and since it quit raining, now that I said that, it'll start again. But since it quit raining, I might put you on a regular tripod where you can see gooder. But yeah, let's go get the right equipment for what we're doing. That sounds like a plan. Okay, guys, we have the wheelbarrow, the level, the square, 2 buckets of water, because if I've only brought one, I would have needed 2. Now that I have 2, I will only need 1. And concrete mix. It's in a plastic bag because we bought it a while back. I was worried about it being a brick. And as you can see, we're still sloshing just a little bit. Guess where most of it went? Yeah, you guessed it. Anyway, we'll get you guys set up on a tripod so you can watch all of the things I do wrong. Be back at you in a second. That's the other thing, is you want to kind of mound that if you can, but I mixed it into that. Anyway, we'll rinse out our wheelbarrow. Yeah, that's pretty okay. Oh, I like it. Okay, so I could set those other three really quick, and then maybe that'll actually drain some of the cream off the top of it, or water, because let's face it, I mix it too watery. We'll set those three with the level, and then maybe I can kind of work that concrete just a little bit, and then we'll bump that one up. But I don't want to do anything with it until I get at least one more set. Hey, looky there, that one's level. Should duck underneath of that, just in case you're wondering. Yeah, I didn't make that high enough. How much you want to bet? Nope, didn't. Guess we're not doing that one yet. All right, I'm gonna put a screw top and bottom, and then after this sets up a little bit more, I'm gonna come in here with what I call a paddle drill. Anyway, and I've got these big long sinker nails, and I'll put a nail all the way through, but I'm gonna drill it almost the size of what the screw is so that I don't split anything out, because this is lumber cut on the ranch. It's oversized. Let's just leave it at that. Try and clean as much of my mess up as I can. I think that'll ride. Ooh, saw. Don't want to leave the saw plug off. Alright guys, we just need to put the fence back. Gate. Close the gate. Not put the fence back. That's silly. I have a chain and stuff to put on this, but I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna maybe flip the gate. So that's it for now. See you later. God bless, guys. Thanks for checking in on us.